The health benefits of certain mushrooms are quite mind-blowing. So today I'm going to take some of the confusions that people have about mushrooms and just make it really, really simple. So if you have a very specific health problem, you'll know exactly what to take. Now, I'm going to primarily focus on 4 different types of mushrooms, okay? But they're in the family of fungus, okay, or fungi. And fungi is very interesting because there's more related DNA-wise to a fungus than there is to plants. In other words, like plants have photosynthesis, so they actually breathe in CO2 and they make oxygen. Well, mushrooms, which is a type of fungus, don't do that. They breathe in oxygen and release CO2, very similar to humans. They actually share 50% of their DNA, which basically means they have certain blueprints that make certain chemicals that we can use for the benefit of our own health. Fungi is the largest and oldest organism on planet Earth. In fact, in just one handful of soil from the forest, you have literally 26 miles of a certain type of fungi called mycelium. So there is a tremendous amount of fungus working in the soil with the roots of plants, exchanging different nutrients to make sure that plant has the nutrients that it needs, and getting certain sugars from the plants as their food. And so really it's the fungus that mobilize the minerals in the soil. And so without this fungus, the plant really has a hard time getting nutrition. Fungus is also responsible for breaking things down, like organic matter, trees, wood, leaves, etc. So they are the great recyclers. But today we're going to talk about 4 key mushrooms that you need to know about. And I want to make it really, really simple for you. The first one is the Reishi mushroom, okay? This mushroom could be thought of as a natural Xanax. Now, of course, I'm not promoting medication, but this is the natural version without the side effects. And what does that medication do? It's purported to help you with anxiety and helping you calm down. Therefore, it's also good for sleep. If you want to increase your tolerance to stress, if you want to counter stress and cortisol, this mushroom might be a good one to add to your diet. The next one is lion's mane, okay? Because it looks like a lion's mane. This one could be considered like a natural Adderall, but without the side effects. What is that drug? Well, it's used for people with cognitive problems, attention deficit issues. And a lot of college students take it to increase their learning abilities because it kind of speeds up the central nervous system to a certain degree. Of course, it has a lot of side effects. But lion's mane is specifically good for cognitive function, improving focus, concentration, memory. A lot of people take it as a coffee replacement in the morning, but it has some really interesting benefits in repairing and regenerating nerve tissue and myelin sheath around the nerve. It has something called the neurotrophic factor, which just helps support nerve growth in general, specifically in the area of the brain called the hippocampus, which is involved with cognitive function to a certain degree. This mushroom also has been known to increase something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. That's kind of like Miracle-Gro, but for your brain. So it helps the nerves grow. So when you think about lion's mane, think cognitive improvements and anything related to a breakdown in your brain, like neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia. Then we have the Shiitake mushroom. That mushroom is good for blood pressure. It's really beneficial for your gut microbiome. A good portion of our immune system is in the gut, and Shiitake mushroom can actually increase the killer T cells, which are responsible for killing viruses. And the last one, which I think is the most interesting, is the turkey tail mushroom. This one has been researched the most. When you think of turkey tail, you want to think of anti-cancer properties. But as far as turkey tail goes, I would recommend anyone who has cancer to start taking it immediately. It has a non-specific immune modulating action, which basically strengthens the immune system overall. So if someone is on chemo or radiation, turkey tail is great to take against cancer. The white blood cells actually eat certain compounds in this mushroom, like beta-glucans, and consume it, carry it into the lymphatic system, to help cause the cancer cell to commit suicide. That's called apoptosis. A normal cell would basically kill itself as a kind of a greater good for the body. But a cancer cell basically lives forever. Now, turkey tail also reduces inflammation in your gut, which is also related to your immune system as well. Because if you think about cancer, cancer tends to spread into areas of inflammation. All right, so Reishi is good as a natural Xanax for calming down the flight or fight mechanism or cortisol. Then we have lion's mane, which is everything to do with cognitive function, helping you concentrate, helping you focus. Then we have Shiitake, which is three things: cholesterol, blood pressure, and your immune system. And then we have turkey tail, which it has a potent anti-cancer effect. All right, so I hope I gave you some clarity on what these mushrooms are good for. And so the next time you have a certain problem, you'll know exactly what mushroom to take or eat. Since I mentioned cancer and a good remedy for that, if you have not seen this video on cancer, it would be very, very smart to watch it. And I put that video up right here. Hey, before you leave, I just wanted to give you a little quick history on some of the books that I wrote. This was one of the first books. It's called Dr. Berg Body Shapes. It was my attempt at writing about body types. What was very interesting about this book is I actually did all the images myself. Don't ask me why. They look actually not quite as professional as some of the images that I have in the new book. But anyway, this is my first attempt right here called Dr. Berg's Body Shape Diets. And then I wrote a book more extensive called The 7 Principles of Fat Burning. I don't even have a copy anymore, actually, because it's outdated. The next book, I put about 1,000 hours into this one right here called The New Body Type Guide. Major updates on the body types. I put a lot of energy into this. It has professional images, graphics, all sorts of things. Now, the problem with this book is it doesn't really describe what this is really about. Body types are only a small portion of what's in this book. And that's why I changed the name to the Healthy Keto Plan, okay? If you happen to have this book, you don't really need this book because there's only very, very minor updates. But if you don't have this, you need to get this one right here. This book goes into every single detail that you would ever want to know about. It goes into the 7 principles of fat burning. It goes into hormones, the body types, the basic keto plan. It goes into intermittent fasting. I talk about the 10 fat burning triggers and blockers and fat burning strategies with a lot of details in every single chapter. I go into body issues that interfere with losing weight. There's very few people that just have a weight problem. They have a lot of body issues, whether it's sleeping problems, stress problems, inflammation, menopause. I cover that extensively in this book. Then I talk about how to get rid of stress, and I show you a technique. Then I get into exercising. And then I have a lot of really good recipes in this book as well. So this is a good reference guide. On my website, if you get this book, you get this one free. It's called Healthy Keto and Intermittent Fasting. This is the shortcut, quick guide to this book. And the reason I created this book is to have you, within 45 minutes, learn how to do keto, okay, in intermittent fasting, exactly what you need to do. Then you can fill in the blanks with this book right here. So right now I'm doing a special. If you get this book, you get this one totally free, or you can go to Amazon and get these individually. So I just want to clarify the difference between this book and this updated one right here. If you don't have this, you need to get this right here. That way you can get the exact correct information to do it healthily.